Hey guys, it's Coach Chuck Gonzalez. I got a little bit of downtime today. It is Tuesday. This is when I like to make my videos for everybody to watch and make fun of me for, and then I'll subsequently turn this into an email, which I already did, which lots of people make fun of me for all of my typos that I have in my emails. Who hates proofreading? Me. Yeah, I always have, always will. So a friend of mine, I sent out this email, and a friend of mine said, Chuck, you got to turn this into a podcast, or you got to turn this into a vlog or something, but she said that it was just a great story. So I have been getting a lot of feedback on this information from mostly from guys, and I thought, okay, so it's been a couple of years now, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this. So here we go. This has a little bit to do with fitness, but mostly just about lifestyle, and really helping. Like, this is probably going to resonate more with men than it will with women, which is kind of strange because, as a matter of fact, when I advertise online for our services here, I only advertise towards women. Like, very rarely will I advertise towards men. But a few times there have been some men who have reached out to me saying that they need a bit more accountability when it comes to piecing their life together. And they usually reach out to me when they read one of my emails. And if you're not on my email list, I'd love to have you. Just private message me your email and I'll drop it to you. But usually it's men that will reach out to me via email or privately on Facebook saying that they want to know a little bit more just about how to improve their own life or how to recover, how to dig themselves out of this hole that they feel like they're in. And I have absolutely no idea, okay? I don't know anything about recovery when it comes to addictions. I don't know nothing about digging yourself out of emotional turmoil from a divorce or from any kind of like life trauma. I'm no expert in that at all. But what I am very good at is just overcoming adversity just because of the kind of background that I had. So let me share with you I'll share with you a bit. And if you get bored, I don't care if you cut this video off. It's okay. Trust me, it's all right. This is not going to resonate with everybody. I went through a divorce in 2018, and my wife came here, my ex-wife, came here into the studio in, I think it was about December or January, December of 2018, I think it was. Walked through the door when I was in the middle of an employee meeting, like no announcement or anything, just walked in, I'm in the middle of a meeting, she hands me the papers and says, I filed for a divorce, you need to sign these right now. And I'm like, what in the hell? I'm in the middle of a divorce. She goes, all right, I'm in the middle of an employee meeting, and she goes, I didn't know you were in the employee meeting. I need you to sign these right now. So that was it. Mind you, we are still living together in the same house. And it's not as if, when somebody receives divorce papers, usually it's the woman that's going to give them to the man. It's not a result of just one event. And it was, a few years of us going through turmoil. And, at the end of the day, usually a woman is going to file for divorce. Typically, that's how it goes. Men are just kind of stubborn and just kind of put their head down and just kind of trudge through the turmoil and the heartache until, one day, like, whatever happens. So, I got these divorce papers, and it was already a bad 2018 anyway. My business wasn't doing very well. My marriage wasn't doing well for, like the last 6 months, half of 2018, it wasn't doing great. And my relationship, with my stepdaughter was rapidly declining, and I just had, like, no vision. I was just so fed up. Was just trying to fight that battle like all the time. I had no more motivation to drive forward or upward. I was sick and tired of listening to all these mentors and gurus telling me that all I had to fucking do was find my power of why, and clients would walk through the door. I just had to refocus and take care of myself, and I would just have to envision success and expect that the universe would just, hand me all of these clients in cash. And I was just tired of all of that BS, and I was just finished and done. I remember on December 31st, my boys and I, we had a night together. I knew, though, that it was going to be like our last time together, like as a family. So I hoarded up a whole bunch of candy, and we just stuffed ourselves just with candy. Like, I'm kind of an emotional eater, and I just filled my face and my stomach with candy that night. And I woke up the next day in 2019, and I took a picture of myself, and I thought, this is where the change has to start. I was going through the divorce. I had already contacted my attorney. I knew that our lives were completely going to change, that our family would be, broken up and the family would be destroyed, all in, pursuit of one person's happiness, which I think is bullshit. And to me, I had to say, I am not being fair or consistent to my clients who are paying me to live their strongest life effort. And I'm being very hypocritical, and it's time for me not to show them that I can do it or show them that it can be done, but it's time for me to take control of my life and live the lifestyle that people are paying me to help them with, to help them create. So at that point, it was like, I gotta do something. And I took a picture. That picture that I took of myself on January 1st of 2018, oh my God, it was disgusting. I was just so fat, and I've always kind of had like the damn Mexican spare tire roll that all Latinos just put on, like right here. And it was awful, right? And I was sad, and my face was fat, and I had like a triple chin, and it was disgusting. But it was more than that. Like, I had to train to be strong to get me through the divorce. I had to train to be strong because my ex-wife and I were in a fight, all right? And I wasn't fighting, and I don't want to say fair, but I was not going to roll over. So I had to stand my ground for what I believed in. And I had to develop that strength, both physical and both mental, when I was in the courtroom. Like, I was literally on the stand in the courtroom, getting hammered by these questions from her attorney. And I had to be so strategic, and me and my attorney, we had to be strong together. We had to have a good relationship. So for me, training in here, training physically in here. It was all part of that process to help me get through the divorce. It wasn't to look great. It wasn't to get a six-pack. It was just really to release endorphin, to make me feel good, to release the dopamine, to release the oxytocin, to help my mind be able to relax, because there was just so much going on. You have business, you have employees, you have a spouse that you live with the whole year, virtually the whole year of 2017. We would go to trial, to the attorney, like check in. I'm on the stand and she's on the stand, and then we go home and we're in the same kitchen together, fuming. Just stomach is in knots, right? I had to get through that. I not only had to take care of my nutrition, but I had to get on board with a nutrition plan too. And I don't recommend what I'm about to tell you guys. I'm incredibly spiritual and incredibly Catholic, probably two different things. So one, as a Catholic, I have to be disciplined, and I'm used to pain, so I don't mind the spiritual discipline that it takes to fast. So I watched a documentary called The Science of Fasting, and it was like on Netflix or something like that, and it was just about people in Russia who were getting over their illness by simply going in the woods and fasting on a straight water fast, and that's it. And for me, I knew that's what I needed to do. So in February for Lent, at the start of Lent, I chose to fast. And I would fast for days and days at a time. I would supplement with branched-chain aminos and creatine, so it sort of became an experiment, kind of a biohack. I wanted to see what would happen if I fasted and if I weightlifted, but I also just drank branched-chain amino acids and creatine, and that's it. And that was my cocktail. And I would have maybe 2 of those a day, and that was about it. After 6 weeks, I had an incredible transformation, and I don't expect anybody to do that. So I would fast for 4 or 5 days, and then I would have a salad and maybe some soup and some broth, but I didn't go crazy because I knew that if I had a big meal, my stomach would just explode, right? And bad things would happen. So it turned out to be a very calm period for me. This was in 2018. So it was a very calming 6-week period because you just don't have enough freaking energy to like go apeshit crazy. So I fasted for 6 weeks, and of course I lost a lot of body fat. But what was interesting is because I was lifting very heavy, and so many people will say, "Oh, if you fast, your body's going to eat muscle." The human body doesn't work that way. Or if you fast and you don't eat, your body is just going to chew away at all your muscle, and your muscle is going to become fat. The body doesn't work that way either. Okay, if you ate away at all your muscle during times of starvation and famine, all right, there would be no human race. We'd be all dead because over the last 2 million years that we've been on the planet, the body has adapted itself to be really great at burning fat during times of starvation, right? Because there's been plenty of times that the human Homo sapien has been in periods of starvation and famine, right? And we still exist. So we're not eating away at muscle, we're eating away at the fat. Now you kind of talk about ketosis. So around this time in 2018, like the keto diet and that bullshit keto OS supplement, like that's going to put you into ketosis. I shouldn't say that because I know some people that I really like that do that stuff. So I shouldn't call it BS. But anyway, we had a trainer here, and he was very big into the keto diet, and I had no clue about keto. And as a trainer, as a certified strength conditioning specialist, and studying nutrition for the last 17 years, the last thing I was going to do is tell my clients to eat a bunch of fat. Did not make sense to me at all. But there are a lot of people that were having success on this diet, and it was really interesting. So I thought, I'm going to learn about this diet. I'm going to do this diet. So after the 6 weeks, I was already really great at burning fat, and then I adopted a ketogenic meal plan, and that was crazy. I do not recommend this for most people. Like, do not go 4 or 5 days drinking branched chain amino acids, water, and creatine. And then don't go straight onto the ketogenic diet. It is very hard to maintain. It will burn fat. It will put you into a fat adapted state, and it worked great for me. But it was not easy to do, and I would not put any client through that. Right? I guess if they paid me enough, I probably would. If they really wanted those results. But for the most part, don't do what I did. That was just kind of my own little biohack. And then slowly, so I start burning all this fat, right? And at that 6 week mark, I could tell like my midsection was really tightening up, like the upper abs were starting to come out. My shoulders and my arms were getting a lot more definition. And I started looking and feeling pretty dang good. And I kept that lifestyle up for about 5 months. So from the beginning of January until about June 1st is all that it took for me. Not 6 months, that was 5 months. That was January, February, March, April, and all of May. So about 5 months, right, of just sticking with this lifestyle of lifting heavy. And I would lift, actually with virtually this program on the blackboard right here, I would lift for 90 minutes a day, sometimes 60 minutes a day, and I did not do any of that CrossFit stuff. So there was no CrossFit, there was no metabolic conditioning. And that metabolic conditioning is just so hard on the body, and it takes you so long to recover. That is when I said, this is what we need to focus our strength on. We have to focus on nutrition. We cannot focus on metabolic conditioning anymore for our clients, and we have to really emphasize a lot of strength training with volume. And I mean volume, like 70 to 100 repetitions of volume. I did eat very clean. You guys know I'm a big fan of DotFit, so I take the DotFit brand. I ate clean. Eventually, I started taking the DotFit whey, which I already was, but I really started to be hyper-focused on taking the Whey Smooth, the amino acids, and the lemon-flavored branched chain aminos. Started feeling good. When you feel good, when you start losing weight, you end up feeling great about yourself, right? And then you look in the mirror, and you're like, damn, I look great. And it's just impossible, not to feel just ecstatic about the transformation that you have made. And you can't go backwards. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I left in the back, that I left in my history, and maybe one day I will deal with it all. But when I had that transformation, I left all of that garbage just behind me. And I just moved on to a place where I was so proud of myself. And I was just in a different spot, and I just wanted to share that with everybody after I had done it for myself. That's when you start to chronically release the endorphin, the oxytocin, the other feel-good hormone, that dopamine, I couldn't think of there for a second. And when you're just bathing and you're marinating in all those endorphins and all those hormones, it is impossible to not feel great. And for me, that's how I was able to kind of move onward and upward. It still wasn't easy, so don't think that it's not easy to move on away from a divorce. Especially when there's still a lot of contact and 3 kids going back and forth still. But it sure does make it a lot easier. For me, training and lifting, it's just always been an outlet. And I certainly had no desire and no foresight of becoming a trainer or a gym owner, let alone when I was a teenager. I thought I was going to be a police officer. That's why my degree is in criminal law. But I did not I didn't think that I would get to feel as good as I ended up feeling, if that made sense. For me, I just wanted to be strong to get through that divorce. For me, I just wanted to feel great again. I wanted to feel as good as I remembered feeling when I was younger. And as a matter of fact, I'm stronger, I'm bigger, I'm leaner, I feel better, I'm in better shape. And I'm mentally stronger to prepare with a lot of things that I didn't think that I would have to deal with. And that's just because of life. It's just because of how you deal with the circumstances that life gave to you. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I want to go through that again? No. Is this going to work for everybody? Probably not. Are you going to fast for 6 weeks on water and aminos? I hope not. Are you going to do a ketogenic diet for the next 6 months and lose a ton of weight? You probably could, but it's not just about food and exercise, you guys. For me, what was very critical was the community that I had at my back, the friends that I had, the friends that I relied on, the conversations that I had, the expertise of other people who went through the same experiences that I did, who went through that same turmoil, and just the support from the friends and the family. That's what this place is. It's community, it's accountability, it's coaching, it's nutrition, it's supplementation, right? Or that's the 5-finger death punch of fitness, as my friend Frank Nash calls it. You got to have a good support system. You got to have an organized plan. You cannot keep bouncing around and keep doing random shit. You cannot come to the gym when you feel like it. It's got to be a daily habit. It has to be a grind. And it's not always fun. It's not always sexy. But on June 1st, when I remember I was doing my back pulls on June 1st, I had a vision in mind, and I kept that vision of feeling better, of looking leaner, of just reaching a version of me that I hadn't reached before. And I finally did it. And I'm ready to reach another version, all right? I'm ready to reach another version of myself. Guys, if you want to contact me, you want to have a cup of coffee, or you want to have a webinar, and you're interested in online training, you're interested in coming here into the gym and working out with me, working out with us, your new family, we'd love to have you. Ladies, I extend the same invitation to you. Reach out to me, comment below. I'll get back with you just as soon as I can. And who knows, maybe we'll achieve our next version of ourselves together. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later.